Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of 30 Minutes with Andy. I'm so excited you're here. Just a quick reminder, this call is every single Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm coming out of my skin about this one today. I finally got to meet the guru of profit share and Keller Williams in person in Anaheim, California, and shake his hand and take a picture. Aaron, I'm so glad you're here, buddy. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, man. It was great to meet you. I'm honored to be here. Can't wait to share with your people for sure.
Thanks so much. So just give everybody a who does may not know who you are on the call, because there's agents with other
Yeah.
firms that are listening in. There's plenty of agents with our market center listening in. So just give them a 10,000-foot view of who you are, kind
Yeah.
of how you got here. What did this road look like that led you to be the profit share evangelist of all evangelists?
Yeah, man. I got my real estate license in 2001. Joined a small company here in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm based out of. They were then acquired by Coldwell Banker. Um, Ended up joining Keller Williams back in 2003, and honestly wanted nothing to do with profit share. I didn't understand it. I kind of heard all the myths about profit share, and so was very lucky because I joined an incredible office here in Atlanta, Georgia, the Atlanta Peachtree Road Market Center, which right now is historically a top 10 market center in KW. And look, I had a great experience at the office. Got on the ALC. That was kind of a big deal for me, the Agent Leadership Council. And then I had a chance to go to Family Reunion back in 2005, our big training event. And I got to see Gary Keller and God bless him, Dave Jenks, doing State of the Company. And they said a couple things that really stuck with me. They said, one, the number one income producing activity that a KW associate can participate in is attracting other agents to KW.
Mm.
And the second thing they said was, look, many of the leaders of this industry 5 years from now, they're not in the business yet. And I came back to Atlanta and just all these things were spinning around in my head. And I just decided, you know what? I believe more in Keller Williams as a wealth building opportunity and as a product than I ever did as myself as a real estate agent. And I was a good agent. I was a capping agent. But in that moment, I believed in KW. And I always joke that there's a title of a book I'm probably never going to write, and it's called All or Nothing: The ADHDer's Guide to the Universe. And so the day I decided I wanted to make profit share my one thing is the last day I sold a house. And so I jumped into profit share with both feet. I launched a recruiting website, broke all of the recruiting records of KW. I sponsored about 400, predominantly brand new agents off the internet to KW.
Wow.
Now, obviously, my timing could have been a little bit better because I brought all these agents in 05, 06, 07,
Oh yeah,
08. I don't know if anybody remembers what happened in
a
07,
little bit.
08. Yeah. Um, so after I got out of my fetal position screaming, why? I heard a quote from Gary Keller that got me back on my feet, and it's pretty appropriate for the moment. He said, look, the greatest shift of wealth and opportunity are in down cycles, not up cycles. So, I dusted myself off, got back on the horse, and built a class called the KW Effect, which I've been so fortunate enough to be teaching around Keller Williams for the last, 11, 12 years and
Right.
make a great living teaching this class. And one of my favorite sayings about KW, Andy, it's not just about what you get, it's about who you become, right? And I
Mm.
never would have imagined the journey that brought me to where I am today.
Sure.
And so I'm self-titled because I work on the outside of the KW sort of system. I'm not a MAPS guy. I'm not a master faculty. I've done this all on my own, but I'm self-titled Chief Stakeholder Evangelist for KW. And I'm purposeful about growing my profit share, but I'm actually more purposeful about trying to galvanize my fellow stakeholders to think and act like a stakeholder and help me grow this company that I have a huge financial stake in. And so that's what I do, man. I try to attract quality talent to KW, and I try to inspire, empower our people to do the same.
I love it. And so for somebody like you who and me and every other
Yeah,
agent out there that's listening that has there's so many real estate companies.
yeah,
There's 1.6 million real estate agents in NAR,
sure, sure.
and 1.7 in the pipeline to get licensed
Yep,
in the
yep,
NAR, and with it so overpopulated and there's being so many options, why KW for you? Like, what is it for you personally? We all end up here for one reason or another. What was
Sure.
it for Aaron Kaufman that was like, that's my home?
I mean, look, I'm a culture guy through and through, Andy. Culture and success with profit share go hand in hand. The 2 years I was a top sponsoring associate in the entire company, I won the culture award for my market center both years. But I think what people need to really understand is that there are good and bad people at every company. Not everybody at Keller Williams buys into our culture, and not everybody at other companies are evil and don't work together. I think the key to understanding KW and our value proposition is understanding why. Why are we inherently different? Why is our culture different at KW? And the answer is simple. I'm a big Simon Sinek guy. I don't know if your
Oh yeah.
listeners know who Simon Sinek is, but Simon Sinek says, "Hey, people don't buy what you do; they buy why you do it." But he also says it's not about being in business with everybody that needs what you offer. It's about being in business with the people that value what you value and believe what you believe. And at KW, our why, well, it starts with our who. And our who at Keller Williams is a guy named Gary Keller.
Yeah.
And, people that know Gary and have followed him understand that this guy's not driven by making another $1 billion. Okay. He has a 40-year track record for being the agent advocate in our entire industry.
The guy.
And yeah, he's the man, right? I always say he's Steve Jobs with a big Y, right? And so what people need to understand is that this guy saw, he's the most innovative mind our industry's ever seen. And when he had a company in Austin, Texas, he was running the number one real estate company in Austin, Texas. But the truth is, he was running sort of a more traditional, what we would call dependent model back in the late 70s.
Right.
And what happened in Austin, Texas, Andy, is the market shifted. And then Remax came into Austin, Texas with basically their 100% independent model. All right. And so Gary had his big aha moment. And what he realized was the next evolution of our industry will ultimately be to an interdependent real estate company. And so
Wow.
Gary
Yeah.
said, look, I'm just going to be the first guy to do it. I'm going to build a real estate company where I not only treat my agents like partners, I'm actually going to share the profits with them. I'm going to empower them to make decisions, and I'm going to open my books. And what people need to understand is the reason why KW culture is so different is that we're actually vested in a true common goal. We're not just vested in the profitability of KW. I mean, guys, we're the only real estate company fighting for the future of your profession.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are stakeholders at KW. We are vested not just in the success of KW, we are vested in the success of our fellow stakeholders. And whether or not a KW associate is in my profit share tree or not, I'm still vested in their success because I'm vested in the success of every agent in my profit share trees market centers too. So look, that's why we're different. Okay. And the biggest challenge for KW is every office is independently owned and operated. And, there's certain levels of this. I was lucky enough to be in an office that had abundant ownership, amazing leadership, where the top agents bought into this culture, where they taught classes, they shared ideas, they cared about each other. That's what inspired me. And Caldwell Banker was a good company. But Caldwell Banker was a dependent, more traditional brand-centric model. And I always tell people, Andy, if all you know is Keller Williams, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage because you don't know how good you got it here till maybe you've been at some of these other models. So
Sure.
I'm a big fan of success through others, through teamwork. People have come before me, and at KW, they're willing to share with me how they do it. And that's really what I've built my entire business on. I'm a guy that just wants to share because if I can inspire somebody in this call at Keller Williams to get out there and teach a class, to buy into our culture, to help grow this company,
That's what it's about.
we all win. Right.
Yeah. So from a Keller Williams standpoint, all right, when we say profit share,
Yeah.
like you're the guy
Yep.
in the United States,
I don't have the biggest checks,
in
but
the
I
stratosphere.
am on a journey to that. Sure.
In the
Absolutely.
Keller Williams ecosystem, you are the profit share guy.
Yeah.
why profit share, and
Yeah.
why what makes you so passionate about that form of what we have here?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to quote the people whose shoulders I stand on, Andy. And look, I am one of the icons of profit share, but there are people that make more money than me that have come before me,
Sure.
whose trees have grown, had time to grow, and who attracted more influential people than me. So I stand on the shoulders of giants, people like Dave Jenks, the McKissicks, Althea Osborne. But I heard a great quote from Jimmy McKissick, and I want people to understand the McKissicks. They earned like $4 million in passive income last year. Okay. They earn over $1 million off their seventh level real estate team that they've leveraged themselves out of. They earn over $1 million off of their real estate. And they earned, somewhere over $1.2 million last year as a husband and wife team in profit share.
Wow.
And I saw a great panel at Family Reunion a couple of years ago. It was on the Hold book, which Jimmy and Linda helped co-write. And somebody asked Jimmy McKissick, they said, you have a parting shot for everybody today. And he said, yeah, the number one, he said, the greatest financial investment that Linda and I ever made was in the KW profit share opportunity. And nobody ever called me about a busted toilet. All right. So my point is this: profit share is passive. Okay. And look, I'm going to say something that some people on this call might not agree with. I don't need to work. Okay. I don't need to work. I don't need to work to live a fulfilling life. People that know my story know I bought 5 acres of land in the Caribbean on a little island off of Puerto Rico. And I believe once we get through this shift and profit share blows up, I'm going to move to Puerto Rico full time. I'm going to buy a bunch of land. I'm going to build an animal sanctuary, and I'm going to save a bunch of 3-legged Puerto Rican dogs and cats. And, one of the things that we talked about, Andy, at KW is life by design.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the great thing about a life by design. We all get to decide what that means. I don't have kids. Okay. That opens up other doors for me. Right. But my point is this. There's no greater leverage tool for building quality of life and a life by design than passive income. And I was so inspired by KW. And keep in mind, I went all in on profit share when KW had 32,000 agents. We were ranked 5th in the US. I mean, now we're number 1 in every category. We have over 200,000 agents worldwide. And I think in probably 5 to 7 years, we'll have over 300,000 agents.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Look, I love passive income, but the question is, I have to love and believe in the vessel by which I'm going to accomplish that.
Sure.
And so KW, I had to fall in love with KW first. I had to be compelled to want to share it with people. The money is not what motivated me initially. It was, okay, this is a company of destiny. Gary Keller's that guy. We're that company. I'm having a high level experience. I owe it to people to share this with other people. And as a result of that big why, well, I'm going to build a life by design through profit share.
Yeah. So this is the question that I was hoping you'd spend some time on.
Yeah.
And because whether they're new agents, whether they're veteran agents, whether they know about profit share, whether they're just learning about profit share, whether or not they even know how the 7 levels work and the percentages and the complexity of it.
Sure.
So let's just hypothetically say we have that every agent that's watching this call right now, it has brushed it to the side,
Sure,
for the lack of a better term, and they focus just on selling real estate.
Absolutely.
Right. What are those 1, 2, 3 action steps? Where do you suggest someone that hears somebody like you speak right now and wants to start actively paying attention to profit share?
Yeah.
Where do you suggest that they start?
Okay, well, step 1, Andy, is simple. Walk the walk before you talk the talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Teach a class. All right. Seek out knowledge and referrals outside your market center. Adopt our technology and stop buying leads from Wall Street-backed tech disruptors that are trying to turn you into low-paid door openers. Participate in Red Day. Donate to KW Cares, okay? The bottom line is, look, I teach a 3-hour class,
I love
Andy.
it.
I start my class off with a question for everybody. How important is it for you to believe in what you're selling? Okay. So number one is if your why ain't big enough, Andy, the how is irrelevant. Okay. And I want to say that again. If your why is not big enough, the how is irrelevant. If you are not having a high level experience at KW, and by the way, if you happen to be in a market center where you're not having the highest level experience, that's okay. There's so many more ways to have a higher level experience at KW that go beyond the four walls of your market center, right? You go to family reunion, mega camp, there's Facebook groups, all these things where you can interact with people all around Keller Williams and really take advantage of KW as a whole. So number one is walk the walk before you talk the talk.
Yep.
Be compelled, okay? Because if you're not compelled and if you don't believe in what you're talking about, you're going to have profit share breath and they're going to smell you coming. All right. And I've taught my class 1,000 times. I've done, 5,000 phone calls, thousands of these Zoom calls. This energy, this enthusiasm you're feeling in this call, I ain't faking it. Okay.
Yeah.
This comes through every time. So being authentic is important to me, believing in what I'm talking about. Look, at the end of the day, Andy, I'm recommending something I believe in to someone I respect. Okay. That's what drives me. So number
Right.
one is walk the walk, make sure your personal why, not just around KW, but also around, hey, am I motivated enough to be intentional about this, to take some time away from selling real estate because I see the vision at KW and I want to build a life by design and a legacy for me and my family. Second is welcome to the lead generation business. Okay.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, I think the real key to having big success with profit share is really being honest with yourself and asking yourself, what lead generation source is a fit for my personality, right? It's just like in real estate, right? You can build a huge real estate business through relationships. You can also build a huge real estate business through cold calling, FSBOs, expires, internet lead gen, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Personally, when I started, I didn't feel really comfortable about trying to recruit agents face to face. I wasn't a mega agent and I had many limiting beliefs back then. So I chose new agents on the internet. That was sustainable for me. That was fulfilling for me because I'm also at the end of the day a teacher and new agents are sponges. They don't know anything about anything and they say thank you when they get off the phone.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a lead generation source that was a fit for my personality. Okay. The final thing I'll say is this. If you want to have success with attracting people to KW, be the reason they join KW.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be the reason. Look, yes, it's the lead generation game. And yes, if all you did was connect recruits with team leaders, you would certainly have more success than you're having right now because I'm guessing
No
most
doubt.
of you
Yeah.
are doing nothing. Okay. But when I say be the reason, we always have to remember, Andy, that a recruit who joins KW, they choose their own sponsor. Okay. Now, obviously, the person that got them to the table for serious discussions about KW should be supported and protected in the process. But the truth is, it's not a guarantee. So be the reason, come from contribution, right? Connect them, actually connect them. I always hear all the time, one of the big mistakes people make, Andy, is they say, well, I told somebody to join KW and just to walk into a KW office and join. Okay, that's one way to do it. Is that how do you let your buyers go talk to builders on their own? I mean, this is business,
Yeah.
right? So, connect them, be the referral agent of record, provide value. And by the way, Andy, I'll just tell you, I really adopted a couple of mindsets when I first started. And here's the first mindset. I have two customers, okay? The recruit and the leadership team of the market center I'm referring them to. At the end of the day, I want both of these customers to think I value their time as much as I value mine.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
not every lead I generate online gets to talk to me, and not everybody I talk to gets in front of a team leader. Okay. I want to be seen as a source of quality referrals by leadership teams.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's how I had a lot of success. I had credibility. Okay. So if you're just pulling resumes off of Indeed and throwing them at KW offices, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Okay. The second thing I want to say is this. I really kind of adopted the mindset of a real estate agent, really from the get-go with these recruits. It's like, look, as a real estate agent, it wasn't my job to tell my clients what to do. It was my job to educate them so
Yeah.
that they can make the best decision for themselves. And sometimes the best decision for a recruit is to not join Keller Williams. Okay. I mean, look, if you don't value training, support, technology, culture,
Yeah,
you know,
if those
all
aren't
you
your
care about,
things.
right? If you just care about the cheapest place to be an agent or what your commission split is versus where you net more money, we're probably not the place.
Yeah.
But the other mentality was this, Andy. I just wanted to have a conversation with people that I wish somebody had with me.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, when I came out of real estate school, I had no idea how real estate companies were different. I had no idea what it took to be successful as a real estate agent. Can you imagine for a moment if you could have spoken to yourself the day you got your real estate license and handed you a MREA book, yourself an MREA book, and
Yeah.
said, "Hey, dude, welcome to the lead generation business," right?
Yeah.
I mean, it took me 3 years of just on my own struggling to figure out, oh yeah, there is actually a model and a better way to do business. So yeah, man, that's basically it, right? Make sure your why is big enough, identify a lead generation source that's going to be sustainable over time, and be the reason they join KW.
I love it. Well, we are certainly going to. I know we talked about it briefly
Yeah,
before the call started, but
sure.
we're going to get you here, and
I know you will, brother.
we're going to get you into the Carolinas, and we're going to get you into the
Absolutely.
market centers. In our world, for this
Yeah,
amazing course that I'm hearing incredible reviews from all over the country.
it's all true. It's all
And
true.
it's all true. It's got to be true.
Just
You're
kidding.
right here in flesh. It's got to be
Well, and
true.
Andy, one of the things about KW, man, and I love this company so much, right? But we ain't perfect, right?
No,
We're failing forward, right? Even though we're number one in every category, we're failing forward. But look, one of the things that we have to acknowledge is that we haven't really done a really good job telling our story
yeah,
to our own people. Okay. And I get it, man. 20, 30 years ago, we were this emerging company. We wanted to grow our company on the merits as a real estate company. We talk about training, support, technology, culture. Profit share is kind of always an afterthought. Okay. And then we're like, oh God, why does less than 35% of our people participate in profit share? I can't imagine why. Well, it probably is because you haven't told them about it or empowered them to have high level conversations. So,
right,
one of the things I always tell leadership in our company is don't assume your own agents even know our own story. I mean, let's get real. Why would they? Who's told them our story? Who's empowered them to have higher level conversations with people about KW?
right.
So that's what I love about KW, Andy, is that no one's ever done, there's a quote I live by, okay? And it's from Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead. Don't read into that, okay? The point is, my wife told me this quote years ago, and it kind of sums up everything that I do. He said, "Don't be the best at what you do. Be the only one." And I am the only one that does what I do in KW. Now, there are people that make more money than me. There are people that are also in the profit share space that I'm not competing with, but nobody teaches my class. My class is my story. It's my message. And that's what I love about KW is
Yeah,
that what other real estate company could you build a six-figure income off of a class that you developed on your own? Fly all around North America. I mean, I was eating Prince Edward Island mussels on Prince Edward Island. Okay. I've been everywhere, like the things that I've gotten to do through this class, not just to mention the wealth building and the opportunities, has been unbelievable. And that's what I love about KW is that you're not just here to sell a house. Okay. There's so many different paths to build a life by design at KW, but it starts with walking the walk. And by the way, every opportunity you ever want at KW will open up to you if you just attract people to this company.
yeah.
Right.
That was one of the. I mean, even when I first came into the KW realm, it's like,
Yeah.
we call it getting Kellerized.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Sure.
you
Sure.
you I had no idea how many different avenues were
Yeah.
at your fingertips
Absolutely.
to create more income. And
Yep.
it's and Gary has created the bandwidth inside of this Keller Williams ecosystem that's
Yep.
you can literally do whatever you want as long as it's moral and ethical.
Exactly.
He figures out a way to just say yes, go do it, grow.
I mean, Andy, our new slogan is where entrepreneurs thrive. And that just is not just something that they just pulled out of the filing cabinet, right? Like as we move forward here, we understand that we have to be more than a real estate company if we're going to, one, fight for the future of the industry. But look, the key is, man, we got to create opportunities, more opportunities for agents to build that life by design, or they'll just go to another company and
Yeah.
take their business with them. So that's what I love about Gary, is that his message has always been, I want our agents to be bigger than me.
Yeah.
And look at Ben Kinney, look at freaking Adam Hergenrother. I mean, these guys in many ways, you know, Gary's probably going to be responsible for creating not just thousands of millionaires, but a good handful of billionaires too.
Yeah.
And so that's what's so great about KW. We're all kind of vested in this company, in this ecosystem, and you can learn from people like me or the McKissicks or Ben Kinney, where at other companies maybe there is no incentive for them to share with you because they're more of an independent type
Sure.
model.
And it's this call is a perfect example. I
Yeah.
mean, who can me being the nobody that I am, in the Keller Williams ecosystem, just can text Aaron Kaufman, can text Mark King, can text
Yeah.
Jason Abrams,
Yeah.
and just say, hey, would you just get on this show and just let me
Yeah.
interview you and give value to our people? And you're like, yeah, like you didn't even think about it.
Exactly.
Like, where does that
Exactly.
exist? And the answer, it doesn't. It's here.
Right. Right. But once again, to bring this full circle, Andy, right? Like if you don't seek out that help, right? If you don't come into the office and participate in training or participate in culture, right? You're actually missing out on the number one reason to be a KW, right? So, that's where I want people to understand is that the more you do that kind of stuff, not only will the more your real estate business and your family's lives grow, the more compelled you're going to want to share this with people. And I think, that's the journey I've been on and the journey I continue to be on, Andy. I mean, look, I wasn't looking forward to another shift. I was ready to retire. I grew this ridiculous man bun during the pandemic because I was ready to move to the
The
Caribbean.
grease man bun, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But you know what, man? It's like, when you look back at all the things that have happened and all the ups and downs, I wouldn't change a thing. I think I might, I think what the effort that I'm going to put into this right now during the shift is going to have an exponential return. And so I would just tell the people that are listening, lean in, man, lean into culture, lean into our tech, lean into, training, because, what do they say, Andy? The market share you take in a shift, you rarely give back, right? And if you come out on the other side of this shift thriving, people are watching you. Okay.
Absolutely.
And, Kay Evans, who used to be head of the Southeast region, always said, what's your attractor factor, right? Be an agent other agents respect by
Yeah.
the way you do business. And I think the more you seek out people you admire in KW, the more you model yourself after what they're doing, the more valid you're going to
That's
be
right.
as an attractor to KW.
Yeah. Well, man, again, I could thank you a million times over again for
all good, man.
for spending 30 minutes with us.
Of course.
I've known who you were the entire time since day one that I walked in the door here. And it's funny, Cindy Dudley, one of our top agents here in the Market Center, she put in the comments, she said, thank you, Aaron. This was so amazing. I have followed you for years. I shared a cab with you over 10 years ago.
I'm sure I gave her like a little mini the KW effect in that.
I'm sure she got the spill in the cab.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
hey,
no,
man,
that's
I
great.
appreciate you so much, and
Of course,
thank you
man.
for being on here. And I know through the comments it was so valuable, and
man,
I
that's
can't
great.
thank you enough, man. Thank you so
Let
much.
me add to this, guys. If I manage a very powerful mastermind group on Facebook. It's called Profit Share Mastermind KW. If you are a KW associate, it's for KW agents only, okay? Join that group. Invite everybody in your profit share tree into that group, everybody in your downline or in your market center into that group. I will wake up every morning and I will verbally shake them to start thinking and acting like a stakeholder. We got about 44,000 KW agents in it. The best resource for getting intentional about profit share. I would just recommend you get in that group. What you focus on expands. And I would love nothing more than to share with you everything I've learned. Okay.
Say it one more time. I'm gonna type it in the comments.
Yeah, it's called Profit Share Mastermind KW. It's a closed Facebook group for only KW associates, has about 44,000 people in it. You'll request to join. I'll let you in there. All the big players are in there. Some of the small players are in there. That's the great thing about KW. There's more than one way to skin a cat, the profit share cat, right? There are people doing career nights, leveraging K-score, doing internet recruiting.
I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm already in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll send out invites to the whole entire
sounds great.
market center.
Sounds great.
Cool.
Sounds great, man.
Hey,
well,
you're
thanks again
awesome,
for the
man.
opportunity.
Yeah, thank
man.
you so much. I appreciate it. And stay tuned for one more minute, guys, and see who's coming up next week. It's another good one. Aaron, I appreciate you, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, man.
Bye.